Australian wilderness, danger comes in many forms and from many directions. It can come from below the water, on the ground, in the ground, and maybe even from above. There are plenty of creepy crawlies that could be sheltering in that very tree you're standing under. Some are seriously threatening, and some just look the part. Tree snakes do tend to get a bit of a bad rap, often portrayed as evil beasts hanging from the branches of trees waiting to pounce on you suddenly from above. But this tree snake does pose some level of risk.
I've got a brown tree snake, and they're potentially dangerous. They are a snake that can envenomate you. They have rear fangs. So they're a member of the colubrid family, so they don't have front fangs like western browns and that sort of thing. They have rear fangs, and they're a solid fang snake too. So the venom actually runs down a groove in the back of the fang. For this guy here to envenomate me, he'd have to really get a good chew on me and physically chew and bite to get those rear fangs to penetrate my skin.
But the brown tree snake has more than enough venom to take down their preferred prey of frogs, birds, lizards, rats, and bats.
They're toxins designed to kill the prey that they eat. So if they're hunting a bat, for example, and they're hanging out of a cave and they want to strike at a bat and hang on to it, they need to kill that bat pretty quickly because, as you probably know, most microbats have got razor sharp little teeth. And the last thing this snake wants is to be bitten by its prey.
What they may lack in firepower, they make up with bluff. This is a snake with attitude, and they love to show it.
If you encounter a brown tree snake and it isn't able to get away, it'll come up in this wonderful sort of multiple coil, and it will start striking and flatten the head and hiss, and it's a really pretty impressive display.
This medium-sized snake still shouldn't be taken for granted. It will, if nothing else, give you a damn good fright.
Very, very, very fast strike rate. She's not really cranky at the moment, but she'll coil up just like any snake, and she'll recoil back, and then an absolute instant push of all her muscles, she'll strike out forwards.
And for some people, the venom can also pose a considerable health risk. There's localized pain and swelling, but that degrees of swelling and pain is different from person to person. People react differently to the venom.
Some people might go into anaphylactic shock, whereas others might just go, oh, it's a temporary discomfort and not worry about it, but you just never know. You don't know how you're going to react, so if you did or were unfortunate enough to get bitten by one of these, you would be certainly wise to apply a constrictive bandage and seek medical help. Yeah.
Some people are actually big fans of these slippery creatures.
I reckon they're a very charismatic snake, personally. But yeah, she's a cool snake. I mean, I love anything in the wild. Snakes particularly I really like. I just think they're so maligned, and everyone seems to think that every snake's out there to kill you. And they're not. They don't recognise people as prey, so the only reason that they're going to feel threatened by a person is if a person's trying to threaten it. And they're just a beautiful animal. They really are a beautiful animal. All snakes, I don't discriminate. Its scientific name is Boiga irregularis, and the irregularis is in reference to the pattern on the snake. And the pattern is such that it breaks up its silhouette, and other animals and that can't focus too well on it because of the silhouette's all busted up.
The brown tree is a medium-sized snake with that attractive brown and cream banding down its entire body. This provides perfect camouflage in its varied habitat. It lives in open forests, rainforests, mangroves, caves, rural areas, and even urban areas of North Coastal Australia, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, and the Solomon Islands. The brown tree snake is arboreal, meaning it is active at night, so therefore is less likely to become a victim of many daytime birds of prey. It's a very successful hunter and can eat prey of up to 70% its body mass. Its eyes have vertical pupils like that of cat's eyes and have numerous teeth, but only the very back two have grooves to deliver the venom.
Almost all of the dangerously venomous snakes in Australia belong to this single family, the Elapidae or the cobra family. But the brown tree snake is the exception. It's a colubrid snake. That's a group that's really dominant over most of the rest of the world, but only got to Australia quite recently in evolutionary terms. And the brown tree snake, as its name suggests, lives in the trees, and it's in places where there are trees.
The brown tree snake has even made its way to Guam, catching a lift aboard military vehicles and ships, and then devastating the local wildlife, causing the extinction of 12 native birds.
Brown tree snakes are sort of a classic example of an ecological criminal. At the end of the Second World War, the US forces in Guadalcanal and New Guinea took the old jeeps and so forth back to their base in the Pacific, the island of Guam. And Guam didn't have any snakes, but they brought brown tree snakes hidden inside those jeeps. And the brown tree snakes have wiped out the birds of Guam. And that's completely devastated the forest system. You know, insects outbreak because there are no birds. The snakes have caused catastrophe. And it's the classic example that snakes are ecologically very powerful, very important creatures. We don't sort of see them, but they really can change the way that ecosystems work.
So when we talk about dangerous animals, the danger doesn't need to be confined just to mankind. It can be to the entire ecosystem. And that is a risk that we can't afford to take.